Welcome to Check Out the Check. This is Sadeem. I got my man Anthony here, aka Serving Sterling. Basically, I wanted to kind of sit him down here and kind of talk about just the different ways people make money on YouTube. A lot of times when people hear YouTube, they think that, hey, I got to make a channel, I got to get a whole bunch of subscribers and things like that to make money. And Ant does that to an extent, but he has decided that, he's taking what he learned in terms of editing videos, things like that, and making money that way, which I think is pretty cool because, like I said, and we'll have different, YouTubers and hustles and things like that on here, but I don't think people really talk about there's money in editing videos. So, we're going to talk to him for a little bit, try to get an idea of, where he's been, where he's at, and where he's going, and try to, figure out what made him actually decide to go this route. Right, what's going on there?
What's good, bro?
Shit, man. A lot of people don't know, me and him go way back, and he definitely helped me out with the channel and things like that. So, if you get mad at editing or anything like that, you hit him up. You my nigga, don't dislike my stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you shouldn't get no dislikes, man. Especially if it's amongst family.
I got you. It takes time.
It's just like I don't have no dislikes.
So man, just try to, let the audience know like where you're coming from, and what kind of got you to the current moment of you deciding, hey, look, I'm working or I'm not working, and I want to kind of move in this direction.
So I started YouTube like last year around October, and I always wanted to do YouTube, which is crazy because like now I'm doing YouTube, I know like the ins and outs of it, but growing up, going over my dad's house, me and my little brother used to always watch YouTube, Kevin Edwards. You don't know, he's the guy that do skits, do the fighting skits and makes everything funny, so I always wanted to do that. And the thing was, with the editing thing, I always used to be in the computers. Like every time I would go to my grandparents' house, I would like go straight to the computer. It was just like, hey, grandma, grandpa, and just go straight to the computer. Mm-hmm. And at a young age, they saw something like, yo, like he really likes computers. Like he not even saying, he not even playing with toys or anything like that. I love just getting on the computer playing like the little Mario. I know some of y'all probably have it. Some of y'all probably don't remember it.
Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah, the Mario Brother little thing when you go in the tunnel and you hopping on stuff. The computer game, the actual computer game. I had that.
Old school, okay.
Yeah, old school as shit. It's old school as hell. But then I had the little Space Cadet, pinball, all that. I used to always be on that, and I always, growing up, like I was always artistic. So it was like, since I was 4 years old, I knew how to draw. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't know that about me. I knew how to draw at 4 years old. So
we kind of get an idea that this is like, what you do on the side. What's your main job right now?
Main job, I'm a server basically at a fine dining restaurant. It's called The Occidental. Been there since 1906. Upscale restaurant, widely known. Congressmen, congresswomen come in there. The rich people. I done seen Anthony Bourdain, the guy that travels, that used to do food. Unfortunately, he took his life away and everything like that. But I got to meet him personally.
Oh wow!
As you know, my name is Anthony, so I
lots to talk about.
Anthony. Yeah, and that's what inspired me. One of the things that inspired me to
kind of do what you do. And for y'all that don't know, his his channel actually, reviews different restaurants and foods that where he'll be traveling and things like that. Serving Sterling, and he kind of gives his take on not only just the food but just the service, because that's kind of the industry that he's in. Yeah. So definitely check that out. And it's it being in the DMV area that we are. If there's a bunch of restaurants and things on there that you can look at and kind of get an idea, if it's worth a shot and stuff like that. And that's kind of feels like, along with editing, the food kind of industry has been like a little bit of a passion of yours as well.
Yeah, always been around food since I was little, but when I dropped out of school, came back to the DMV. I went to Kent State. My first job back was a restaurant job. I had an internship, but they wanted me to go back to college and stuff to fulfill my graphic design needs and everything. But that was the first job that I seen I can make fast money at. So I've been around food.
And yeah, just like me with the car business, man, that fast money can kind of suck you in. And
Yeah.
you look up, it's like 5-6 years later,
Yeah.
and you're kind of wondering like, yo, this is what I wanted. And I don't necessarily blame anybody for going after the money. I just think that, you know, you gotta have that kind of, that fire in you that still stays lit. And I think that that's kind of what he had when he decided to kind of, hey, look, I'm still doing the serving thing, but let me try to venture into this YouTube thing. Because I don't think it was like an instant thing, but I think eventually you're just like, hey, look, I've been putting it off long enough.
Yeah.
Like, let me figure it out and kind of go from there.
Yeah. That's
So
definitely.
like, take me in. So you started the channel. Take me in, just start the channel. Like, what was your mindset? Like, what just made you? I mean, I don't know. Did you start off with a phone? Like, what? Like, give me just the raw.
As you know, I started off with my iPhone 7. I still have it. I just started off recording, and I knew so many people that was like singer, actresses, everything, and I just thought that would be cool to have those people to have on my channel, like just to have an insight of how they react or how they are personally. These are people that I view close to me. So the thing was, I just thought about, you know, before everything came about, before the whole pandemic, like I said, I started October of last year. It was just like, you know how the people get, you know what I'm saying, you get crappy service somewhere because you're certain skin tone.
Right.
So they really think that you're not going to tip or anything. Because
I think everybody kind of feels that pressure just being black, and you're just sitting there like,
right.
You almost feel overpressured to give money because you feel like they think that you're not gonna give money.
Right.
But then when you get bad service on top of it, you like, well, what you want me to do? I'm like, I'm stuck either way, you know.
Over tipping. Right. So it's like, as a server, I kind of seen that just with my peers. I'm not going to, you know, air anybody out on here, but it's just like certain people, they just was pissed off because they had black people. I'm like, bro, you can give them best service. I
think that black people actually respond the best to good service.
Like,
right. If you go out your way, I think that they feel it more.
Yeah.
You know, I think they also pick up on like that. If you're just doing it kind of like half-ass type shit, they pick on it more. But I think that, you know, because they're in this, like, I know when I go out and I get like good service, I spend more. I tip a lot more money because it's a situation where it's like, you know, don't judge me by my skin tone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna pay for good service regardless, but I'm not gonna pay you if you already assume I'm not gonna pay you. Like, and I'm not gonna feel guilty about it. But yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I always felt that you don't know who's at your table. Right. These people can, you know, dress regular or whatever and be billionaires. You never know. And I got 100% tip, which means like that's the full. The amount of the bill,
right?
I got the full amount back. So it's like, and I gave that person, and they were two black couples. Now I could have judged them, you know, they was dressing average. They didn't have any jewelry or anything.
And this is at the Occidental. This is at
Class.
Okay.
I did work that Class.
But classes, I mean, the check can come up to quite a bit of money too.
Right.
Yeah.
But Class Gallery Place, if you know. Gallery Place, those of you guys that's from the DMV, it's kind of harsh, but at the end of the day, I didn't, like, I just wanted to give people the full good service, man, because you never know. Like I said, it can be a rapper, it can be an up-and-coming rapper or an up-and-coming person, celebrity, you never know.
I feel like, you know, and, you know, a lot of you don't know, but me and him used to work together at a dealership. In one of the other videos I talked about coming up in dealership, and there's a lot of similarities I feel like in the restaurant business and the car business, because, and one of the big things is that you don't judge a book by its cover. Right. You know, there's been plenty of times to where, you know, I'll walk up to a guy and he's in regular clothes or overalls, whatever, and I remember this one time I sold 2 cars to the same guy. He was a dentist. And came up and he walked up to the dealership. He walked up off the street. You know, you didn't see a car. You couldn't judge him based on what he was driving, but his office was up the road, so he just was walking by.
Wow.
And you know, me being, you know, young and everything like that, and I didn't judge him. A lot of the older guys, they saw it and they was like, "Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want that." But you know, just with him, I sold 2 cars and he bought it cash. He didn't even finance. He bought it cash. So that just goes to show you, you know, especially in any type of service industry, you cannot judge a book by its cover. And it could be having a bad day that day. You know, just, you know, shoot, he might walk up to somebody, they might just broke up with their girl, and they don't look like they in the best moods, but you know, he might be that one thing of the night that went right. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
so guys, you know, definitely, you know, in the service industry in general, no matter what you're doing, or sales in general, you know, definitely build that rapport and you put your best foot forward. You never know. I mean, you might, you know, there's gonna be some days when you do put your best foot forward and you probably end up with nothing. But them times like he's talking about, those are times you're gonna remember. You know, those are times that you're just gonna make all that other crap worth it. But so yeah, we talked about, you know, how like you were basically in a situation where you decided that, hey, look, you know, what can I branch out? I know all these people and things like that. I mean, what would you say is just was the start of like just cost of everything, just trying to get everything on the road? I mean, just like all the stuff that you use to edit and things like that. Like, what do you?
So basically,
So you already had the phone.
I already had the phone.
Okay, so there wasn't too much there.
I use iMovie basically. Okay. It's an app that's already on your phone. So people that, you know what I'm saying, just starting up, you don't have to buy that expensive stuff.
Right.
Even if you look at my old videos, you will see like you don't need that special stuff just to start up.
Okay.
Especially if you're not known. Like you look at these big YouTubers and people think like, oh, my stuff gotta be like this. Doesn't have to, because every YouTuber started off small and they gained that momentum to be something bigger. So like I said, iMovie, that comes with the iPhone.
Okay.
For Android users, I know it's certain editing programs and everything like that, but I think you can also edit on YouTube too.
Okay.
I know YouTube has that program where you can edit. You have a computer, you can have a MacBook, you can go to the library, man. Like, you don't need expensive stuff to start off your video. Just start. Right. That's the thing.
And that's the whole message behind this whole channel, is that, you know, whether you're making a whole bunch of money at your job or you're not, you know, hey, there's ways around everything. And, you know, we try to dive into that here and say, hey, look, you don't need a whole bunch. I mean, you know, I even see videos and things like that that talk about, you know, you might want to start a channel with like $1,000 or $1,500. I don't think you had $1,000 when you started.
Hell no, I
Right.
had $1 in a dream.
Right. So I mean, and you know, 34 videos later and things like that, I mean, you know, it builds upon itself. So you know, guys, definitely, you know, if this, the whole message of this whole channel is to basically try to get people in their mind frame of starting. You know, you know, you can't finish what you can't start. And you know, those ones with 1 million views and things like that, they might be interviewing like that CEO, but he started just like him. You know what I'm saying? He started just like him, and he's on the journey himself. And this ain't the end of it. So, you know, that's one thing I wanted to get across. So you were starting the videos, you're making your own content, things like that. What made you kind of shift over to like the editing side of it?
Again, or if I didn't say is, I did grow up, you know, with trying to learn computers. I was always passionate about it. But with my grandparents, it was just like, they told me at a young age, like I'm 7, 8 years old, it was like, look, computers are the future.
Right.
They knew that. They knew that.
And he was just thinking like, man, I'm just trying to play pinball.
You know
what I'm talking about.
I'm just trying to come over and play Mario.
Right. No, my dad said the same thing.
Yeah, but you gotta listen to those people, man. Like like now as I grow and progress in life, I look back on that stuck with me.
So for the people that are trying to figure out, you know, what's the next move? Maybe they're young, maybe they're in high school, maybe, you know, they're in college. What would your advice be for them?
Just know, you know what I'm saying, just figure out what your passion is. And
let me ask you this. Compared to, let's say you were, because you did used to sell cars, right?
I did sell cars.
So let's say you were selling cars and making 5 G's a month. Are you saying you would rather chase this and make a lot less?
that goes back to what your passion is.
Mhm.
Say if I was like you, and I was just, I'm selling cars and I'm making 5 G's a month, which is crazy.
I mean,
that's above minimum wage.
I mean, that's on the lower end too. I mean, 5 G's a month. I mean, for me, I didn't go to work to make 5 G's a month. I went to make 7, 8, 9. But
yeah, but coming from
no, hey,
yeah,
if you are interested in selling cars, then I'll probably do an episode on that too.
Yeah.
But
you looking for 7 G's, but at the end of the day, it's some people that makes way less.
Right.
It's some people that works at, you know what I'm saying, that since high school, and they end up working at McDonald's or something like that, and they making like 12.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I was 19 and I knew I was making more than the average 19-year-old when I was.
Yeah.
When I was
so it's nothing to like to gloat about. It's just the thing of finding who you are as a person. Like, I mean, if you're passionate,
would you agree with this? I think that it's harder to chase your dreams when you're comfortable,
right?
Than versus when you're starving.
Right.
I think that so many of us, we get locked into these careers and things like that, and we're not even hurting because it's decent money, but we hate our jobs. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you kind of got to make that choice. You kind of got to make that, hey, look, are you going to chase what you really want in life, or are you going to stay here and try to make the best of it? And some of us, we try to get all our eggs in one basket and then come over here and, hey, I'll save up all my money over here and then I'll go buy this and stuff like that. But I think for me personally, and I think a lot of people that might be watching, it might be a situation where it's like, hey, look, no matter what I'm doing, let me just divert some energy towards what I like to do. And I think that, like I said, when you was working at Occidental and at Clyde's, you were just saying, hey, look, you know what? And I think you were making pretty good money, at the time. I think that you say, hey, look, I'm going to do this for me, and I'm going to just branch out and try this, And I think that was kind of cool, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on, because, especially coming from a situation where you weren't making a lot of money selling cars.
I wasn't.
Right. I mean, hey, listen, we won't even get into that. But, and then to go do something you're a little bit more passionate about, making a lot of money, and then for you to go and say, you know what, I still want to chase what I really, really want. Right. And I think that's kind of the attitude that you got to kind of have if you want to ever accomplish something. This kind of situation, like, I'm going to make myself more uncomfortable now to be in a situation where I'm going to do something that I like to do. If that's what, the kind of
yeah, I can bounce that idea off. Just if you're comfortable, man, if you're comfortable in your situation and it's not the best situation for you, I would say be uncomfortable. Try to take a chance. Like I told this guy, I'm not gonna expose where I'm going to, but I'm planning on moving. It's just a niche.
And you've been here your whole life.
Yeah, I've been here my whole life. I feel like it's time for a change. And if you scared of that change, I'm scared. You know what I'm saying? I'm scared. But at the end of the day, you don't want to live your life in regrets. And I know it's probably people that's, young, like I said, young, that's probably looking at this like, don't be afraid to change, man. Like,
don't be afraid of kind of like that walk out in the dark.
Yeah,
like the situation of like you don't know everything, but so you won't move.
You're so used to something. Like, you can, bro. I'm born and raised in a single mom household. Everything like DC hood stuff. I was that kid that got picked on. I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't that popular kid or anything. But at the end of the day, that taught me how to, be uncomfortable with my situation. If you want change in your life, man, if you tired of the same thing, branch out, man, because you never want to look back. Bro, I'm telling you, these years, now that I'm older, and if you guys, have a Snapchat or anything, Snapchat tells you stuff 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Don't even feel that long ago.
Yeah, you like, damn, that was like,
I was literally like,
I got
25.
reminded of a 4 year ago thing, and I was just like, damn, that was 4 years ago.
So even how long I've known you? I've known you for what, 4 years?
It's going on 4 years now.
It don't even feel like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got into the editing thing. I mean, how do you determine how much you would charge to edit like a video?
Based on how much effort I put in the video. If I'm putting my full heart in, because you can just edit a video, but that's secret side. You can just edit a video if you don't, you know what I'm saying, put your full editing. But editing, it's a lot of stuff that goes into editing, especially like if you're, you know, transition. It's a lot of stuff. Like I know some of you guys probably don't even care about the terminology, but it's a lot of stuff that goes into editing. It takes time. It doesn't take a day. If it takes a day, that person is probably like don't have nothing to do that whole day.
Like
They fully focus on that one day. Like I'm gonna edit this video and I'm gonna send it out and I'm good. But to the average person that, you know what I'm saying, you have people that you got to see or whatever, you got family members or whatever, not making that excuse, but if you're not fully dedicated to editing that day, it's going to take probably 2 or 3 days. 2 or 3 days.
So how much would you charge that?
I'm starting low. I know a lot of people that.
And that's cool. This is the channel.
I'm starting low. Probably like, if I know you, probably like $30. I know that's hella low. If I don't know you, probably like 50 for a video.
And that's cool. I mean, one of the things I wanted to show is that, like, hey, look, you took you taught yourself a skill,
Yeah.
and now you're getting paid off with it.
Yeah.
And it don't matter how much it is necessarily, but I just kind of want to get that across to saying, like, hey, look, you know, even before your channel gets popping, you can sit up there, all them hours that you put in to learn how to do it. It's like that's valuable, you know,
Yeah.
especially in this day and age. And it's like, hey, let's be in a situation to where, let's tell the people, like, hey, look, you could be home making money. You know what I'm saying? You could be in a situation to where you got somebody at work that's starting out a channel, and then maybe they got kids or something like that, and then you can, you know, stack up a couple, you know, $100 a month. I mean, that's rent. That's all types of stuff. So you know, that's one thing that I kind of wanted to get across, and it didn't really cost you nothing extra. You didn't go to school for, but it's a situation to where, hey, look, you know, that's something, another bucket that you got that you necessarily didn't have, what, a year, 2 years ago?
Yeah. Crazy thing is, I did go to school for graphic design.
Oh, you did go to school?
I did go to school for graphic design, but I know most graphic designers don't learn the skill within the skill. Yeah, I'm about to hurry it up, but most graphic designers don't learn the skill of editing really. You know the basics, you know the terminology, you know the history of it, but they don't break down like how to edit a video.
Okay.
So you basically
the hands-on thing is where it's at.
You basically have to teach yourself. I know a guy that graduated of the University of Miami, top of his class, and he still doesn't know the proper hands-on skill to edit a video. Like he knows the history. Like he can tell you who started the whole editing thing.
Probably going back to like cameras with the dust on top of it.
Like, bro, did you know? I'm like, bro, but that stuff, like history matters, but at the end of the day, history don't matter. It matters of how you put your take on it.
These are new times anyway. You know, you talking about history, YouTube wasn't even around that long ago.
Right.
You know, so
it's just like a new rapper, you know what I'm saying? A new rapper may use an old rapper cadences, but he's gonna
he gotta bring his own stuff to it.
Yeah.
You know, he gotta be hands-on to it.
It's the same thing.
And that's one of the things right now, you know, guys, you know, right now he's charging 30, but as he gets better, I'm sure the price will go up. I mean, can you imagine having like your full-time living just off of this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah.
You know, so it grows, man. It definitely grows. And it starts from nothing, and you know, I plan on, you know, talking about, you know, me, you know, selling cars, stocks, and things like that. But the common thing about it is that it starts from very little, and you just kind of grind it out and push it out, and there's going to be pitfalls, you know. I mean, would you say there's anything as far as, you know, shortcomings and pitfalls that you might have gone through just in this process?
Yeah, just learning. Like learning going to make you have pitfalls and stuff and everything.
Like you might upload a video that look like you might have thought it would look.
Yeah.
Okay.
It might be a video.
But like relatively like low risk. Like you taught yourself to do this. It didn't cost you a whole bunch of money.
Right.
You know, you got a marketable skill. Like.
But at the same time, if you look at the YouTubers now, these people have been doing this for 5+ years. Every YouTuber that you watch, it can be such and such. You can put anybody on the line. They had at least that 5 years experience, or they know somebody that had that 5 year experience where they can collab. And the thing about YouTube is all about collabing with somebody. If you got somebody that has that popularity, that influence, they're gonna check out that little person out. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, he, you know what I'm saying? They hanging out with them. It's all about a popularity contest too.
Okay.
So,
All right. What do you see yourself taking this whole thing? I mean, you know, are you going to transition to something else? Are you going to grow this? Like, what do you see next for yourself?
I see me. I literally want to go back to like literally just editing. Like Serving Sterling, you guys can subscribe to Serving Sterling. But at the end of the day, it's like I want to have me like Sterling Vision. That's
Like a
my
production
IG.
company almost.
Production. Sterling, I'm just keep fucking it up. But Sterling Vision, like it's just an editing company that doesn't have my face, don't have nothing. It's just me editing videos. I feel like in the future I will be editing videos, like rap videos and everything, once I get better.